This episode brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Shifting a little money here, a little there, and hoping it all works out? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can get a better budgeter and potentially lower your insurance bill too. You tell Progressive what you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll help find you options within your budget. Try it today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
I'm here on the job site with Dale, who's a framing contractor.
Hey, good morning.
Dale traded up to Geico Commercial Auto Insurance for all his business vehicles. We're here where he needs us most.
Yep, they sure are.
We make it easy for him to save on all his insurance needs, all in one place, with coverage that fits his business and bottom line. Oh, I shouldn't have looked down.
It's all right.
We're so far up here.
Look at me. Take a deep breath.
Oh, I'm good. So good.
Get a commercial auto insurance quote today at geico.com and see how much you could save. Get more with Geico.
You're listening to Heaving Bosoms, the podcast where two best friends recap romance novels while giving you roller derby breakdowns and wanting to marry Rapunzel. Hey HBs, don't forget that if you want more of us and more of this couple, you gotta head to the bonus feed because this Friday I'm telling Sabrina all about the follow-up novella to this book, Not Your Shoe Size. As you know, our patrons make this podcast possible, so thank you for supporting us from the bottom of my heart. Geraldine L., A Roving Woman, Natalie W., Gigi, Aaron W., and Lourdes L. There are tons of ways you can support us that don't involve money. You can follow us on social media and chat with us in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed to the show on whatever podcast app you use. You can share our episodes with your favorite people. Oh, and oh my God, it would be incredible if you could go rate us 5 stars and leave a review on Apple Podcast. It really helps the algorithm to get noticed by new listeners. Plus, it honestly just makes my day when I see a new one. Okay, yesterday when we left off, Kate and Ty had embarked on their kinky exploration together, and Kate is getting so much of what she's been craving, but he is falling short in the aftercare department. And remember, this is a sexual situationship, not a relationship, importantly. All right, that's where we're jumping in. So we whimsy through them playing for like a month together, and my understanding is that they stick with the same skeevy stepdad and teenage
multiple
stepdaughter.
Different scenes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets the news that he's going to be sent on a 2-week work trip.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, like, she's invited him to her roller derby bouts, and he's been like, no, that doesn't really seem like my scene. And she's been, like, disappointed, but, you know, again, she's going to take whatever scraps he gives her.
Well, especially because she has started to realize that as much fun and delight as she is having doing this skeevy stepdad routine, she's really craving, like, soft, sweet, in bed, like, you're my one, you're everything.
I'm so in love
me.
with you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like she's like, man, but like this is enough. This is more than nothing. And so this is enough.
Yep.
And on top of that, he is starting to realize that he's getting too close. He's getting, like,
Absolutely.
too close to the flame. And then we have a really catalyst scene, like a big catalyst scene, because he gets, one of the guys at the office comes into his office and is like, hey, what do you think about using her as fuckbait, basically?
Having her do this presentation to a client we know is a super perv because she is his physical type. And I think it'll help get the business more easily. And Ty is just like, he's so mad about it.
So enraged. And then he texts her after the end of the scene. And he's like, meet me in the storeroom.
Yeah.
She comes to the storeroom and she's like, I'm gonna...
Because also, I'm so sorry, Sabrina. I'm so sorry. We forgot to tell listener that Veronica has been calling. Ever since they started playing, his ex, Veronica, who just had a baby with the guy she left him for, has been calling and leaving these, like, wild voicemails about, like, missing him and missing them and wanting to be friends, sort of, and, like, la 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 la. And he hasn't been answered. I think this is when he gets the very first call, maybe, from Veronica. And it really throws him off. And then this fuckbait thing happens. And so he needs an outlet ASAP. And he's going to take it out on her ass if he can.
It was all too much. Georgie saying Middleton's husband would thank him one day because there's also, he has a conversation with his best friend Georgie. And quote, just because this is important, in that conversation, he's thinking that he knew she would date after he was gone. Hoped she would date even. But something about the thought of her with a husband did his head in. By early afternoon, he had the answer, though he didn't much like it. If she got married, it would be to a man like him. Middleton wasn't the kind of girl who settled. She walked the extra block to get good coffee from Galvano's. She took the time to mark up her designs by hand so that every detail was flawless, blah, 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 blah. Now that he'd shown her how good sex could be, she wouldn't want anything less. Her husband would be her daddy, her last and only daddy.
Yep.
That shouldn't have mattered, but it did. It fucking ate at him. And then, so everything that Melody described, everything that I've talked about, and he's like, oh my God, he needed to blow off steam, needed a release. It was stupid, reckless. It flew in the face of his promise to treat Middleton with the respect she deserved. But then there were times when she got off on disrespect.
Yeah.
He hoped this would be one of them. He unlocked his phone and texted her to meet him in the GGS storeroom 15 minutes from now. She meets him there. It's very clear very quickly that this is not work related, that this is kink related. And he's like, bend over the desk so I can basically flay your ass. And he pulls out his belt and she is into it. And
I love
he's
her
like,
because she like double checks with him. She's like, you realize this is against your rules? And he's like, yes. And she's like, okay, cool.
Let's
and
let's
immediately
go.
Gets into it. She's like, basically what she says is, I'm sorry I didn't wear garters today on a day I never thought anybody would see my underwear at work. And he's like, shut up, Middleton. And he like gets his belt off. Like it's a full belting.
It's so funny then because we're in his point of view and he's like, God damn it. I don't want to be the kind of asshole who like just fucking rails on my sub's ass because I'm having a bad day. And so he looks at her and he says, tell me something that's gonna piss me off, Middleton. And she's like, and then she starts like throwing out these things. She's like, one time I left a store when I was like 12 without paying and I didn't go back and pay for it. And he's like, fuck, that's adorable. God damn it. Okay. Keep telling me. Try again. And like everything she's saying, he's just finding more and more endearing. And he's like, no, I need something that's gonna like make me want to whip you, Middleton.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, fine. When I was in college, I sold my panties. And he's like, this is it.
There we go.
What are you talking about? She explains the whole thing and he's getting madder and madder because he's finding out that she did this without telling anyone where she was going. She was dangerous
she would meet
about
these
it.
men in public.
take it off in front of them, and he's like, this is it. And then he is just now he's fucking her, and he is just nailing the hell out of her, and she's into it. She goes to touch her clit, and he's like, no, don't touch
you dare.
that.
This is not for you. This is for me right now.
And then he comes. She was almost there but didn't quite make it, and he's like, all right, now you're gonna go home, you're gonna take the rest of the day off. Oh, but first, I don't know. The order doesn't really matter. He's like, you're going to take the rest of the day off. You're going to go lay down in bed. But then after sex, after this experience, he realizes that this is different. She is all fucked up, but like good fucked up. But like she's like teary a little bit, and he hugs her for the very first time.
While she cries.
He holds her. And she's crying into his chest, and it's a relief. And
she's
for
like,
her.
I don't even know why I'm crying. And he's like, it doesn't matter either way, like just get it out.
And this is the moment where then he tells her, go home. Mm-hmm. I'll cover you. Go lay in your bed and wait for me to get home.
And I'll come fuck you later.
Yeah. So she goes home, and she is confronted with the fact that this is closer to what she wants. Which is him holding her after
caring for her.
A really intense scene, because like it was intense.
Yeah.
And she's realizing this is it. And she thinks that this is the flip. This is the switch, okay?
They're gonna really date now, maybe, she thinks.
Well, it's not even necessarily date. It's just that this is the switch to like the caring flavor of kink.
Yeah.
That she's looking for, that they've never discussed. So that's a bold thought to have. But it's a hope. It's optimism. And then he shows up. He is the skeevy drunk stepdad. He fucks her in the bed.
I love this, though, because she's like, now that I've had a taste of what it is to have the exact flavor of kink that I want with him, I'm not doing anything else. And so they're having sex, and she's like, wait, Ty, get off me. And he's like, whoa, like, what did I do? Are you okay? Did I hurt you? What's happening? And she's
also
like,
drunk, by the way.
Yes. He's also actually drunk. Like, to play the skeevy drunk stepdad, he went out to a bunch of bars and then came to her house. And she's not super stoked about that, right? But she does like that it adds like a realism to the scene that wouldn't be there otherwise. I don't really agree with that, but like to each their own, I guess.
Yeah, we already know how I feel about the alcohol and thing.
Well, and so he's like, okay, is there anything else that's wrong? And she's like, well, yeah, all of your clothes are like fucking digging into me, and they're really uncomfortable. I don't understand why you never have sex with me naked. And so he does strip down at that point in front of her. By the way, listener,
we have not told you this. His history is before he was at GGS, he was a firefighter.
And he loved it. He loved how physical it was. He loved the like adrenaline that was with it. He loved feeling like, he was actually actively helping people. Mm-hmm. He even enjoyed like the comforting the victims part afterwards. Mm-hmm. And then one of the fires happened, and he realized that like they got the baby out, but one of his guys was still in the building. And it was like one of the more reckless guys, and he was this guy's superior. And so he was like, fuck it, I know I can save him. And he went in, and one of the supporting beams cracked right on top of him, and he was pinned down. And as a result, he was injured. He has this like really, really bad, huge scar all over his like side and back. Mm-hmm. And they did the rehab with him. Like he was still a firefighter through the rehab and everything. And then after he was like back and he could physically probably go back to work, the higher ups were like, hey, we should actually look at that situation because I think it was real fucked up. And it was like a huge lapse in judgment on his part, because according to protocol, there was no saving that guy. He should not have endangered himself to attempt it. And they fired him as a result. And so he's been also mourning that along with this, like, relationship that she ended up cheating on him and marrying someone else afterwards. So this has all been going on simultaneously. And the biggest reason that he hasn't taken off his clothes is because of this giant scar. And it adds to this, like, this feeling that he's too old, he's too used up, he's too rough and she's just like this perfect, young,
innocent,
angelic
beautiful,
being. Yes.
Smooth skin. Like, it feeds into all of the challenges, frankly, between their relationship.
Yeah.
That is not a relationship.
It's not. Well, and it's also like not a challenge. You know, like it's all internal.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying that's not
10,000%.
legitimate, but once he says it out loud to her and shows her the scar, she's like, you got this after saving a baby and then while trying to save one of your guys. Like,
you're a hero to me.
Yeah, I see this scar and I see someone strong and resilient and a hero. And that's what I get from it. Not that you're like scarred and used up and gross and old. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
So they end up having this much more intimate, because they're both naked, they're both in bed.
Yeah.
Skeevy stepdad scene. And once it's done, he gets up and immediately starts dressing. And she's like, oh, this is like, that's not what I wanted. And he's like, I'll be right back. I have a present for you.
Yeah.
He goes and he gets a
box.
A box, but I guess he went to the store and got her a baseball bat-sized glass dildo.
Wowza.
And it's beautiful because he gives it to her. She opens it and she's like, oh my gosh. Like, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
And he says, I have to go on a work trip. I'll be gone for 2 weeks, but I wouldn't want to leave you lonely.
Without. Yeah.
Essentially. And she is clocking in this entire thing. She's like, oh, this is goodbye.
I don't know if it's like my flavor of neurodivergence, but I did not get that at all in this scene. As I was reading it, I was like, girl, you were making that up. He just said that he wants you to use this dildo while he's gone for 2 weeks. And then, like, my assumption was they would pick up where they left off. Because he didn't say, like, there was never a goodbye, use this in my memory, or like use this in place of me, or whatever. He really phrases it.
Well, he tells her, use this when I'm gone.
Yeah, at his work trip. I fully thought she was making this up.
I would have made that assumption, but my rational brain would have been like, you're overreacting.
Okay. Yeah, maybe because the vibes are off.
Definitely off.
But with everything that's said out loud, I guess.
Him showing up drunk like that, the fact that he finally opened up to her as like that whole thing. By the way, they also have another conversation at one point because she spends a lot of time going down on him and he won't go down on her. And she asks him about it and he's basically, I don't remember what his reasoning is, but it's a bullshit reason.
He says, I don't do that.
Yeah. Well, the serious reason, and like I really resonated with this, is like his real reason is that's way too intimate. That's not something that I do with just...
If I get to that like core part of her and I get that into my bloodstream, there's no getting her out. Yes. Yeah. There's no letting go of her at that point.
This episode brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Shifting a little money here, a little there, and hoping it all works out? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can get a better budgeter and potentially lower your insurance bill too. You tell Progressive what you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll help find you options within your budget. Try it today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
So he leaves. He goes on this work trip.
Which is also a bullshit reason. Like,
for what?
This bothered me. Like, because y'all, the amount that she is choking on his fucking baseball cock and like he's coming down her throat and all this bullshit. Like at one point she says, that it's almost as if he prefers blowjobs to penetrative sex. And the amount that he is making her, asking her, requesting this thing that she does, and then just like is like, nah, I don't do that. I'll just like finger you real good or whatever. I'm like, I don't care what your reason is. Get the fuck out. What are you doing? I don't know. It's such bullshit.
Well, so a theme throughout this book is that she's simultaneous, as far as she's like a character trait of hers is, and I like, it's not just within kink. I think you see it else. I mean, not I think, you definitely see it elsewhere as well, is she's not comfortable speaking up for herself. If she wants something, she's not going to go for it, period.
No, she knows, she gets the vibe, and she is correct, that she is on tenuous ground at all times with him. And so a conversation
everywhere.
that she... everywhere, yes. This is such an insecure attachment.
Yes.
It's so toxic and unhealthy right now. Like, it's really, really bad because she says that one thing, but she doesn't feel like she can advocate for herself because he'll just pull the rug out from under her.
She's so afraid of him rejecting and taking away the little bit of thing that she's gotten from him that she refuses to ask for things that will actually fulfill what it is that she wants because she doesn't want the little bit taken away.
Yep.
And this, like, guess what, girl? It's gonna
I've
get
been
taken
there.
away anyway. Yeah, like,
No,
I
I know.
can't, I'm not, there's no judgment here. I'm not gonna throw stones in glass
Of
houses because, like, same,
We've all
girl.
been in a relationship like that, or a not relationship like that.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be a sexual, this just happens to be a kinky sexual relationship, but, like, everyone has, like, friends, family, like, this is really where the trauma of her growing up comes out to play, is her not speaking up because I'd rather accept a little bit because
Then
that's
lose
better
everything.
than nothing, than take the risk of everything.
Yep.
So he leaves, and we're in his point of view. This is it. He outie.
And I was so surprised. I was like, oh, he did break up with her? Like, that was what he was trying to do the whole time? Like, that's so weird. Okay.
Well,
I don't know.
listener, we did not mention it earlier in the book. I just need to put on record right now that one of my most favorite lesbian characters I've ever met in my entire life is in this book. Her name is Rapunzel. She's a Derby sister, and I'm
obsessed
so
with her.
Hot for Rapunzel. It's not even funny. This is like,
No.
I was reading this book. It was Cade levels of
I knew it.
obsession. I was reading it, and I was like, every single time, I was like, so when's Rapunzel gonna be here? Do we get to see
When?
Rapunzel again? Except, you remember how in the one book, eventually Cade becomes a love interest? That doesn't happen here. This is not a throuple book. And so I was just like, God damn it. I want to know how you fuck, Rapunzel.
Right?
I want to know everything about you.
We know she does not like a pillow princess by the end of this book, but that's all we know about her.
Man, it was so funny reading that too, specifically because, like, I have semi-recently been having conversations with people about the term pillow princess, and like this,
and she uses it
just
derogatorily.
And I was like, shot through the heart.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, fuck, Rapunzel, no, don't say that. But, like, there are people who feel that way.
Absolutely.
I let it go. Like, I was not concerned about Rapunzel is just so fun and 3D.
Wait, I want to say something that I think is going to make you feel better and give you more hope about this fictional character, okay? I think the issue with that is that the person that she was... It was just the surprise. She had expectations of this woman being like a tiger in the sack because she's a tiger on the derby pitch or whatever it's called. And so when she ended up being a pillow princess...
This was her dry penis.
Yeah.
In the sense that it's hard to rally when you expected one thing.
Okay.
And then you're like...
Self-lubricating penis is what you were expecting. We got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not her dry penis. It's fine. Let me have... I just want to be close to her somehow.
Do you remember when we found out that Alexandra Vasti knows about the dry penis?
Listener, recently oh my God. Well, we'll talk
It's
about
way
it.
in the past for you, listener, but we recently had a hangout with Alexandra Vasti, and we were told straight to our beautiful faces that she listens
to the
every
podcast.
once in a while.
And apparently we were not recording the author hang yet, but apparently the look of joy and horror.
Shock and horror and revelation that hit
Especially
both of our
when-
faces in that
Especially
moment.
when we remembered that I specifically remembered that the dry penis conversation happened in her episode.
Yeah, that was a rough moment when we realized that we had sullied her brilliance
Her book.
with
It's
our
like
nonsense. We got our nonsense all over her book.
I fucked around, and I found out to my face.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I was
anyway,
stoked about it, you know? Like, I was really excited. I got more
It wor-
nervous, and then I was like, Melody, cool your jets. That just means that she knows we're sillykinses.
it worked out enough that it's my lady love this week, so like it's fine.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
Yeah, Sabrina got a special invitation,
Shut up! Let me
notwithstanding the dry
shut the
penis.
fuck up, Melody. I want to tell my lady love. Okay,
I just want to give them a little bit so they're sure to
fuck
stick
you.
around.
Anyway, Rapunzel's fantastic. Anyway, that doesn't matter though, because we're talking about, he can't fucking handle it. She is heartbroken. She has said, I'm so sad to all of my friends. She basically has like breakup times with, she becomes like closer. Oh my God, is this the one where she goes out for drinks and cancels on him by saying she's on her period?
No, that's
another time.
importantly a very other time.
You take it. You've read this twice in a row, and I don't remember exactly where we are.
So he leaves, and she spends those 2 weeks, like, sort of licking her wounds. And before he left, she had invited him to her derby final, which was going to be, like, at the tail end of his trip kind of a situation. And he was like, well, derby's really not my thing. I'm not going to be interested in that at all. That's, like, a silly thing. I just want to see you in the skates afterwards, is basically his attitude toward her. So she'd been really upset. And then we get to the derby final, the day of the derby final. They are really struggling, trying to beat these A-bombs. The A-bombs are like really aggressive, and they're pulling some shady shit that shouldn't be on the derby floor. And then Rapunzel comes over after halftime, and she's like, hey, I'm pretty sure your dude's here. And I told him to, like, fuck off because your new boyfriend wouldn't like it. And she is like, what did you say? And she was like, nah, I told him I was bullshitting, but I did tell him, like, she's awesome. Somebody's going to snap her up if you keep on being a dick nose.
I also need you to know, listener, that Rapunzel has nicknamed him Dexter because he looks like a man. He looks like a serial killer.
He's a blonde man who probably has a room coated in plastic. We don't ask questions.
Yeah. Rapunzel, I love Rapunzel. I could wax poetic about Rapunzel forever. But so she rolls over to him, and they basically make up. He's like, I couldn't get you out of my head. And she's like, I don't want to be your dirty little secret. That's later.
No, she does not say that. That's later.
Okay.
She says, I didn't want much. I just wanted, like, romantic dates every once in a while. And I wanted to feel like more than just a toy you take out when you're horny and then put away on a shelf and don't think about again until the next time you take it down. And he's like, I never meant to do that. And, like, if you want romantic dates and you want all this stuff, like, that's what you're going to get, Middleton. And he kisses her in front of God and everybody. And she's like, are you staying for my final? And he's like, yeah, I'll stay. And she's like, do you want to come into, like, the special friends and family section for the players? And he's like, no, let's not go that far. And she's kind of disappointed and, like, embarrassed, but she's like, fuck this. It's fine. I'm going to focus on this final. And she goes over to find out what Maria, her coach, has planned for the second half. And she finds out that Maria is benching her out of spite because she's really mad. She doesn't say this out loud, but everyone understands that she's mad that Kate just made up with Ty and they're going to be together again.
Maria has her own little come to Jesus moment at the end of the book, which was necessary because everyone's like, Maria's in love with you, dude. Like, this is later that it happens, but essentially, So basically what has happened is Maria took her under her wing
Yeah.
back in the Gap and has watched her flourish, but now that she's flourished, she's having possessive issues with the fact that this isn't her person anymore and she'll never be hers because...
And Maria's never going to be her number one.
Yeah, because Kate is straight.
Yeah.
And that's...
Yeah, I mean, she's straight. Maria's married. Like, there's a lot of obstacles to this, but essentially what Maria has been trying to do is to steer her to being just satisfied enough that she can have the sexual experiences she wants, but then still have Maria be her home base of like telling her all about it and asking her for advice and worshiping the ground she walks on and, you know, sort of socially subbing for her instead of sexually. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Okay, good.
I hadn't thought of it that way, but that's exactly what's happening here.
Yeah.
A sub in every way except for...
Correct.
Sex.
Yeah. And now she's seeing this rival alpha dom person.
Well, and she specifically, she knows that Ty is an actual rival. Like, he's not a play daddy. He's the real deal.
Yeah.
Actually,
it comes from his bones, you know? It's not something that he's doing for someone else. So anyway, she tries to bench Kate the whole time. Rapunzel pitches a fit at one point because the other jammer gets super injured. And Maria's like, can you still skate? And and Rapunzel's like, no, the fuck she can't. Stop being a crazy person, Mama Bear.
You have a perfectly good jammer that you have fucking benched. Let her off the fucking bench. And then she gets off that bench.
She says.
Oh my God. I would like to make a comment. Like, two different, very, very different flavors of roller derby, but goddamn, some of the fucking derby names in this book are so good. Her derby name is Princess Bleach. And there's a bunch of other really good ones, and I don't even remember what they were, but what her derby name ends up changing, because spoiler alert, she changes her derby name. Her new derby name is also incredible. And how dare lightning strike twice? Fuck you.
Yeah.
Do you know what a brutal thing it was to decide my fucking derby name, and I was so happy with it.
I can't imagine.
Anyway, bitter. There's no compersion here. I'm just envious. So anyway, she wins. She goes on that track and she ends up getting like the winning point.
Well, and Rapunzel tries to block and essentially like take out the other most aggressive and like largest defense person on the other team. Can't do it, ends up like on her ass. And then instead, Kate takes this bitch out and then ends up scoring enough to win the final. It's like fantastic. So it's this big upset. Everybody is so shocked and proud and impressed. And she's like, I can't believe I did that, like in front of Ty. And part of her motivation for this is like she's thinking about all of the people who underestimate her in her life, including Maria and Ty and her fucking parents and like everyone, right? Like everyone underestimates her, and she's going to prove them all wrong. She's going to prove to them that she is a fucking player, okay? She needs a seat at the table because she deserves one on her own.
Yeah.
So they go out drinking and like celebrating. Ty is there. He's so obviously her boyfriend. He's at her side. He's getting her drinks. He's talking to her friends. He's explaining the nickname that he calls her at the office. Like, all of her dreams are coming true. Okay, everybody? That's what's happening right now.
She has a bathroom moment between her and Maria. Maria's been a little weird because Maria made a gross comment when she was headed to the bathroom where she's like, oh, you should see if Ty wants to come sit with us. This might be more, because she's hanging out with a bunch of older women drinking wine and like being classy adults. And she's like, maybe Ty wants to come sit over here.
With people his own age.
Yep.
She literally says.
Yep. And then Maria ends up cornering her in the bathroom, basically. And she is like, I'm fucking done.
I'm done with this. This is creepy and weird and gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Maria's like, I don't like him. He's not good for you. He's just using you for sex and blah, blah, blah. And she's just like, get away from me. We are done. We are not friends anymore.
Well, so then it does get into her head, and then we have a happy montage where she's not quite fully satisfied, but it's better than it was. Again.
They're going to restaurants. Wowza.
She's still never been to his house.
Nope.
And they're still playing. It's still a secret at work. It's still, there's a lot going on.
And now it's a month later.
Yes. Her boss asks her to take a file to the restaurant that he's at with some clients.
Basically because he's sadistic misogynist. It is raining cats and dogs outside, and they're making her go even though they have like a whole gaggle of interns who are doing like more important work for John's friend's birthday party. It's a boys' club. It's bullshit.
It is that, but it's also, it does come up later again because they're confidential. It's a whole fucking thing. It's a bunch of bullshit.
No, the interns can take confidential files. They're
they can?
technically contracted with the company. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Fuck them then. Regardless, it doesn't change the fact that they're doing this because she's a hot piece of ass. She's fuckbait.
Yes, yes, exactly. They're doing this because she finds out when she gets to this, like, it almost feels like a whites, like a dinner gentleman's club.
Like an old-timey gentleman's club, because it's very clear, like, they're like, one, why do you look like a bedraggled wet rat coming off of the street? And two, like, but you're a woman.
Yeah, right.
What are you doing in our hallowed misogynistic walls?
And she says, I'm bringing my boss some confidential paperwork. Basically is what happens. So she goes up and she's trying to like get her shit together in this service alcove. And then she starts accidentally overhearing what's happening at the table. And it's awful and it's stupid. And they are gross pervs. They're trying to get Ty to tell them who he's fucking.
Yes.
And like why she's taboo and stuff.
Well, and I don't agree with him doing the thing, right? But like when he explains in his point of view what happened, which was basically like,
no, I get it.
I just wanted, like, I understood why he was doing what he was doing. And like, this is a classic miscommunication trope.
But it ends up not being that.
Well,
that's what I liked about it.
Yes. I ended up liking the way it all happened.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Because normally this would drive me up the fucking wall. Because all she has to do is come out of the fucking woodwork and plop the papers on the table like a mic drop and then walk out, right?
Yep.
And he will know that she knows and he will have to make up for it. But instead, I really liked this because in the moment, she's hearing him say she's young and like, what's the point of having a dirty little secret if you share it with other people? In his mind, he's trying to get this like bloodhound off the scent of Kate because they can't tell their bosses, at least not yet. He's not at the stage where he's even thinking about telling their bosses. And so he's trying to minimize their relationship as much as possible so that this guy loses interest. It made total sense from his point of view if you're gonna buy into that like jockey locker talk bullshit, right?
Yes.
But what on her end, what she ends up overhearing is real, and she manages to parse out the real from the overblown. Because he is overblowing that, like, she's a dirty little secret and, like, I'm not sharing her with anybody. But she hears that, like, he had a fiance that left him. And I'm pretty sure she hears that, like she recently had a baby, maybe? I don't remember what it all was. But it's that Ty says, like, I tried love once and I'm over it and I'm never doing that again. And she clocks that, like, that is very real in his psychology. And everything starts making sense that's been, happening up until this point.
Even beyond that, though, even the dirty little secret, yeah, they're going to restaurants, but they're going to shadowy, dark, intimate restaurants. They're still, even though they're doing public things now, she's still never been to his house.
He's not opening up to her at all.
Yes, and she's like, oh. So, like, I understand what he's doing, but
I totally get why she's like, oh no, this is never going to be what I want it to be. Yeah. Is essentially after she gets her girls together, she calls Rapunzel and she's like, this really bad thing happened and I don't know what to do. And Rapunzel's like, go home, send me your address. I'll bring the girls, take the rest of the day off of work. And like, we're gonna we're gonna all be there for each other.
Yep.
And so they have this like witchy night where she explains everything, including her daddy kink and like the power imbalance stuff and the fact that he's her boss. And like she tells them everything.
So this is also when she realizes like that Maria's really into her in a way that's beyond like whatever, like Rapunzel, they have that talk, which explains to her some of the things that were going on. And when she's explaining it, one of her teammates is like, so you and Ty pretend like he's your daddy while he fucks you? And like, they're both like, they're all fascinated by it. And then one of the funniest fucking conversations in the entire fucking book is, I used to do daddy stuff with my ex, Rapunzel said, crunching a leftover carrot stick. Tam wrinkled her brow. But you're a woman. Oh, fuck.
What?
Really? Rapunzel grabbed her tits. What the hell? What are these? Tambara, I'm a woman! Don't. Rapunzel threw her head back.
Oh, no!
And then, yeah, LOL, Tam said, rolling her eyes. I just mean, well, you don't have a dick. They have invented this thing called a strap-on, Tam. Look it up. And then...
Plus, daddy's a vibe, okay?
No thanks. Hang on. Why would you pretend to be your ex's dad? Why not her mum? I don't know. It's a taboo thing, I guess. Yeah. Ask Kate. Don't ask me, Kate said. I only know my own weird head. I know nothing of lesbian BDSM. And it was just so funny and adorable. So good. Like, it... I love the shit.
Well, and one of the reasons that this scene and like this Maria subplot and everything is so good, I think, is that she joined the rugby team, listener, in order to try and forge female friendships.
Oh, yeah? Is the rugby team where she met Rugby Boy?
Is that what I said? The derby team? Sorry. Yeah. She joined the derby team in order to forge these female friendships and like learn how to be friends with ladies. And then she latched onto Maria, and she didn't realize the social control that Maria had been
cultivating.
Cultivating. And she thought that she was just too timid to go out to drinks with them. And she thought that like it's just because girls don't like her that she wasn't closer to her other teammates. But now they're all like, no, you've been a mystery. We've been obsessed with you almost like casually, you know, but like we don't know anything about you. And you've played with us for 3 years. The biggest reason is because of these like invisible fences that Maria had been putting up around her. And I think that correlates directly to her dissatisfaction with her relationship with Ty. She's starting to see all of these invisible fences that people are putting around her, limiting her, and she's done with it.
She wants me to stay the way I am, but I can't.
Yes.
Ever since Ty and I started hooking up, it's like I'm going through second puberty or something. All I want is for things to change. Like what? Tam asked gently. Everything. I want a job where people take me seriously. I want to wear clothes that make me feel good. I want to talk to people without worrying they hate me. I want to not be trapped inside my aunt's house and trapped inside my own head. I just always thought... What? Tam pressed. I always thought I'd have a guy to protect me when I was older. She looked around the circle. I know that sounds pathetic and unfeminist and sad. It's just what I thought. I wanted to meet someone who'd show me how to be who I really am. You know, love me so much I understood everything about the world. It's understandable, Tam said. It's what girls get told to want.
Yeah.
The prince who rescues you. But men are just people. They're flawed. They change their minds. You don't want them to hold ultimate power over you. I know, Kate admitted, and I don't want that really. It was just a nice idea, you know?
Yeah.
So, does anyone have any ideas about how to change yourself in every single way? And she's kind of joking. And then we have witchy times. They sage,
Casey
they
is
make
like,
lists.
Yes. They burn shit.
Oh, it was so funny. Rapunzel looks over and she's like, it's about to get Wiccan in here, isn't it? And Casey's like, hell yeah, it is. And then she starts pulling like sage and like crystals out of her bag. And they get drunk and just go to town. And now she has a list.
I have to find my favorite part, though, because it was so beautiful from like a bonding standpoint, like a friendship bonding standpoint. Okay, so Casey named the ceremony the healing and reinvigorating ritual for Katie Mae McGrath's vagina, heart, and other areas that may need cleansing. And then the ritual took almost an hour, but the time passed quickly. Kate wasn't sure if that was the novelty of watching Casey chant and wave sage and utter incantations, or if it was actually doing something. It didn't matter, she realized, as Casey tried to bully Rapunzel into holding a chunk of rose quartz. The real charm was that someone cared enough about her to wave burning herbs all over her body, to break the ties that bound her to people and things that no longer served her. And that's the thing, like, the magic isn't the spell, right? It's her realizing that she has this community. She has people who care about her. She has people who want to lift her up and have her spread her wings.
Because now, listener, she is ready to take her life by the reins and go for it.
I loved this too, because he genuinely doesn't know that she's broken up with him. And it's so good.
So that night, she's supposed to be getting dinner with him, but Rapunzel was like, tell him you're on your period.
That's a Wednesday.
And she does, and he's like, man, I kind of want to like take care of her, but like maybe we don't even have to have sex. Maybe we can just like hang out, whatever.
Hold
like,
on. I paid very close attention to this because it was very telling for me in regards to like his intentions, right? And so when we figure out everything that's going on, he says that for the first time since they started hooking up, he spends 2 nights in a row in his office, sleeping at his office. And the first one was because she said she was on her period, and there was absolutely no suggestion or thought of him spending time with her just to comfort or take care of her at all. He was just like, oh, okay, cool, and let it go. And then the second night is when he was like, he starts texting her being like, well, we could just hang out. Like, we could go to dinner, or, we don't even have to have sex, or we can have sex. But that's when he starts feeling insecure. The first night, he doesn't think about or offer shit.
Well, so like I didn't clock that it was 2 different times, but like I wasn't giving him a gold star.
No, I know. I just want to make it very clear for a listener that like he has so much growing to do even now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She doesn't show up to work the next day.
That's Thursday. And he's like, she's never done that before.
And then he's in his office on Friday. She's still not there. And then his boss comes in and is like, Middleton fucked us over. And he's like, what are you talking about? Turns out she quit. She did not put in her 2 weeks notice because she talked to the union and found out just how bad her misogynistic bullshit company was fucking her over.
Yep.
She is owed a ton of RDO.
Overtime. Yep.
And
leave.
overtime. And so she's done. She quits. And because of all of this, the union's going to be looking into their a ton of stuff at the job. And he's like, what do you mean she quit? He tries calling her. Hasn't he tried calling her a few times over the past couple of days? Okay, so he has.
And he's been texting her.
This time, he really called. He's like, what the fuck is happening?
He's like, hey, I just want to know you're okay, essentially. And like, Ty, babe, that's not what you want to know.
You want to know if you still have a place to get your dick wet.
This is what I'm saying. You want to know if she's going to suck your dick again without you reciprocating at all. And like, I guess it's okay because, he's the orgasm wizard of her life thus far. Like, she's used to not coming with her sexual partners at all. let alone, you know what I mean? So I can understand why she wouldn't need that reciprocity because she's already getting fulfilled in ways she hasn't been before.
Well, I waffled back and forth on this multiple times in this book, actually, because, like, that's a huge thing that they're both at fault here. He should have reciprocated in the sense that once it became clear that this is something that she wants him to be doing, but she also never explicitly states,
you need to go down on me right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
If that's
I don't know.
Is that it's not a deal breaker enough that she's cutting it off? Is what he's doing shitty? Yeah, but it's all like,
no, of course, that's what I mean. She's not asserting herself either.
They're not actually talking, and that's the biggest thing. And you know what? That's the biggest thing about what leads up to the climax of this book, their breakup, right? He gets a letter from her.
Ha! Well, so first of all, he realizes that, like, this shit started kicking off on Wednesday. And he's like, what happened on Wednesday? Oh, fuck. He finds out that she was the one who took those papers to the club. And he's like, oh, fuck stick. No, I really think I fucked it this time. And so he calls his best friend and he's like, I really think I did it. And Georgie's like, yeah. Like, you're so lucky that you're getting just the silent treatment because I would fucking fillet you if I was her and I overheard that bullshit. At one point, he says something to the effect of, I did it because I wanted to make sure that they didn't know that she's special. And his best friend goes, is she? And he's like, what? As if, like, it's so surprising. Like, of course she's special. And she's like, is she special? Because you didn't have to go with any of that bullshit. You could have just shut it down. And you didn't. And he's like, no. And he's like getting queasier and queasier. And he's like thinking about throwing up. And then he sees this letter that she has sent to the office.
You can cut and move around like whatever you want out of this. But I want to read the whole letter because it is...
Please.
I was so proud of her.
Same.
I love this letter.
Yep.
Dear Ty, I guess you've heard by now I'm leaving GGS. I'm sure Jono's pissed, and Dutchy, though that probably has more to do with getting his own caramel lattes than anything. So with D&D out of the way, I guess it's time to write about us. It's funny how hard it is for me to say us because I know it's not a word you wanted me to use in the context of whatever we were doing. Sleeping together, fucking, exploring our mutual interests, etc. We never got around to labels, did we? But here's the thing. Deliberately avoiding labels doesn't mean you have no obligations towards my feelings. I know you're not planning on dumping me, but I also know it's never going to be more than what it is now. When I picture our future, I see the two of us sleeping together for months, maybe even years, me too scared to bring up commitment, you making sure I'm never really a part of your life so you can always peel me away like old Velcro if you need to. I don't want that, and I think you knew it. It was like you said at the Derby final. You just couldn't stay away. I'm glad Jono was a jerk and made me go to the Breton Club in the rain. If I hadn't heard what you said to Stormy and McPerverson, I might never have seen what was staring me in the face. When I calmed down, I realized you were probably playing up the sleaziness to get them to change the subject. I recognized your smile from all the times you pretended to be my stepdaddy. But you meant what you said about relationships. You really do have no intention of loving me. I'm in love with you. You must know that, right?
You gotta
know that. You saw it on
that.
my face, and when you did, you kissed me and said something like, you're too adorable for your own good. I'm not too adorable for my own good. I'm in love with you. I've been in love with you for a long time, maybe since we met. I hooked up with that rugby guy in Bendigo because you were watching, and I thought feeling a man's hands on me while you watched would be the closest thing to having you. Are you scared yet? I am. I don't know why I wanted you so badly, but I did. We need to end things. Not because you're too old for me or I'm all wrong for you. I think in our hearts we both know we're good together, but this is going nowhere. I don't know what your ex did to you, but I don't think you want to love anyone ever again. And if I stay, I will wring myself out trying to make you change your mind. I'll ruin all the best parts of myself. I want real love, Ty. A guy who goes down on me and introduces me to his friends and tells me he loves me. When we're together, you give me just enough to imagine having those things, but it's not a real possibility.
This is my favorite line.
You're an amazing lover, but you're not my daddy, and I don't think you ever will be. You're a charmer. I thought you never showed me that side of yourself, the way you showed the Barbie trolls and the guys at work, but you did. You showed it to me in bed when you were everything I wanted you to be and more. Maybe no other man will ever measure up to you and I'll be single forever, but I have to try and get what I want for myself. No all-powerful father figure is going to ride in and save me. So I'm leaving. I'm leaving you and GGS and also Australia for a little while. One of my Auntie Rhonda's friends is putting me up in her apartment in Prague. I'll be pretty miserable, obviously, but it'll be nice to take a break from everything. I think this is the part where I say goodbye and please take care of yourself. I'm not brave enough to mean it yet, but I hope you find someone you can be with. You're an amazing guy, and not just because you used to be a firefighter and you're hot. You're so funny and smart, and when you opened yourself up to me, I felt like the most incredible girl in the world. It would be such a shame if that went to waste because of the hang-ups you have about love. Okay, I should go. Sorry this letter is so long. Tam just told me to stop apologizing for things that don't need apologies, so I'll just say, I'll miss you, Ty. Middleton. P.S. I know this sounds lame, but someone will call you about returning my apartment key today or tomorrow. Goodbye again. XXX.
It's so good. So my favorite line out of that letter is when she says, you fed me scraps from your table, and I was fool enough to think I was invited to the meal.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was so proud of her in this moment.
So I just found it. It wasn't in the letter, but it's when she was contemplating, thinking about everything that had happened. She's thinking back on what he said in that restaurant meeting, and she says, that's what she was. A dirty little secret. She had a place in his life, and that place was on all fours. He's been engaged once for his sins, but his interest in love was over. He'd thrown her scraps from his table, and she was dumb enough to think she'd been invited to the meal.
Yes. Oof. And no lies detected. You know, like she's not misunderstanding any of what's going on.
Nope.
She's clocking it real hard. And so he's devastated. He's going to give up. And then Maria calls him because she also got a Dear John letter from her being like, stop being a creepy mommy. And if you want to be friends, we can. But otherwise, like, stop this.
Is done.
It's weird. Yeah, we're not doing this dynamic anymore. And so he goes to Maria's house to give her the key. And they have this really, really great talk. Maria does a really great lecture at him. And I think, Sabrina, you're going to read part of it, right? But anyway, basically, Maria's like, get your head out of your ass. Go and read her blogs from her Kink World profile. And think about how you want the rest of your life to be. Because ultimately, I want my friend to be happy. And if you don't get your head out of your ass, I don't know that she really will be.
Yeah. So she's talking to him about basically, because she's a dom, she's in the scene, she knows kink and lifestyle and all of these things. And she says to him, true doms, alpha males are 4-carat diamonds. They're exceedingly rare, and no matter what they say, most women want one. They're born, not made, and they're snapped up quickly. The ones who stay single are highly unlikely to join websites like Kink World or fetish clubs. Why? Ty repeated. And she says, because it requires a kind of campy showmanship that rubs alpha males the wrong way, and because there's usually no shortage of women willing to sleep with them, it's unnecessary. So Katie spent her whole adolescence and early adulthood pining after something she had a minuscule chance of finding. I was just starting to persuade her to lower her standards when she met you. Because, like, that's the thing, is he's not doing this as a play at being dominant in bed. Like, this is just who he is.
It comes from his bones.
Yes, like, he is interested in playing at all of these things because it is a part of him and not because it's a show that he's putting on to get laid.
Right.
And, man, it's really true. And, like, I don't know how kinky you are, listener, or, like, if you know people in the scene and stuff like that. but you really can clock it. You meet somebody and you're like, they're like, especially if you start talking about kink with people, people will come in and they'll start talking about like, I'm a dom, I'm a this, I'm a that. And it's
Okay, bud.
Yeah. All right.
And that's fun for a minute, but it's not what Kate needs or wants, because it also comes from her bones.
Well, and that's the thing is, I liked the kink in this book a lot because it felt very authentic in the sense that, like, this is not kink as a scene. This is kink as a life. Like, this is not just, okay, we're putting on the kink face for a sexual scene. And that's fine if that's how you engage with kink. If you engage with kink exclusively within set boundaries and things, that's okay. But that's not what they're doing, and they found that in each other. It's just, it was really interesting. You look confused.
I don't understand what you mean. Because when I think of kink as a lifestyle, I would think of things like a 24/7 dom sub marriage or something, But they keep it exclusively sexual. She still makes her own, like, he doesn't dom her life decisions. He doesn't dom.
So it's not as obvious. So, like, when he talks about wanting to, like, take care of her, and it's not just during or after sex, like, he wants to be her daddy and, like, take care,
her
but,
provider,
like, let
her protector.
Yes. And she wants somebody, like, she says that it is a fantasy. It's this, patriarchal fantasy that a man is going to come in like a white knight and love her enough to help her function in this world. Like, she knows that that's a fantasy, but even if it's what she wanted, but, like, it's knowing she has this safe place to fall. Like, she has this safety net, and it's just, it's the underlying. It's not the daddy-daughter. It's all of the underlying stuff that she talks about in her blog posts and all of these. It's at its core what they're looking for from each other.
Okay, yes. I'm glad we parsed this out, because, listener, she doesn't call him daddy 24/7.
No.
They're not always stepdaughter. Like, it's kind of, I'll tell you about book 2, because we don't have time here, but I'll tell you about book 2 for Patreon. And it's pretty fun the way that they sort of externalize their kink and, I don't know, like, formalize it in some ways. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I see lifestyle as in she knows that he is her safe harbor, and he has this, like, innate need to provide and protect. But they're not doing daddy-daughter stuff 24/7.
No. So that's what I'm saying, though, is it's not scening as life, right? Like, it's not like the things that a lot of people would do within a scene where it's like set, this is what we do. So, like, their scene is the stepdaddy. That's the scene for them. But the underlying, what she's looking for out of doing these scenes is a little bit right, like, I don't know, it's so hard to explain in a
I hear you. No, I hear you. I understand now. I just wanted to make sure, because I was just confused a little bit about, because it's again, it's hard to talk about. It's hard to talk about, like, the different terms you use, whether it's in scene or out of scene, and, like, what informs the kink and what is the kink, and, like, all the bullshit, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what's going on. So he goes away from this talk with Maria, and he's like, it's fucking hopeless. I fucked it up. You fucked it up. We can't even do this anymore. And then he starts thinking about it, and he's like, you know what? Fuck this. I will do my homework. I'll like, write about our life. And it starts
Maria
real
is
bleak.
like, if you want to fix this, you have to go home and fix yourself first.
Yeah. You need to fix your overall worldview and attitude about you in an actual relationship with her. Because he's the one who's hung up on the age gap and, the rest of the bullshit. Kate is not. So at first he, like, externalizes it on paper, and it's real bleak. It's like, she gets with me and we're fine for a while, but then she meets someone younger, and then my body and my dick stop working, and then she leaves me and I die alone.
And I loved this because he sat down, then he stood up because it was hard, it was awful, it was terrible, and he was like, this is fucking depressing as shit, and he goes to get a drink, and then he's like, no, I'm not.
Yes.
We started this in alcohol. We did the whole, like, alcohol was a part of all of these things, and it's acknowledged, and, like, it's seen throughout the book that he has some flavor of dependence on alcohol to deal with his demons for all intents and purposes.
Yeah. But I love that in this moment, he made the choice to navigate this completely unaltered. No crutches, no nothing. He just has to confront himself.
Yes.
And it's really great. So he ends up reading her blogs, and then once he gets a better idea of like some of the underpinnings of her desires and the way that she relates to life in general, that's what he gets from like the blogs and the poetry that she's written on this profile.
Listener, we didn't say this. When she had her come to the witchy, come to deliciousness with her friends and all of these things, she gets a new derby name.
Yeah.
And it's Sylvia Wrath.
Because she loves poetry. Oh, it's so good.
How fucking dare lightning strike twice?
It's so good.
Some people. Anyway.
And the other benefit of changing her derby name is that now she doesn't have to wear a wig and a helmet. Because she wears like a bleach blonde. That blew my mind.
So, like, I get it.
I
know derby players who, like, they have a persona as far as derby is concerned. So they wear, like, certain things. Like, I was not one of those because, like, I didn't have a character that I was playing on the track.
Sure.
But, like, I've always been baffled by those people.
I just mean logistically, putting more heat on your head.
That's exactly it. I cannot imagine putting on a wig just to put on a character.
A helmet.
Incredible. Well, and a big part of this is her getting rid of princess is what she got called growing up. And not in a sweet, you're my princess kind of way, but like, oh, you're a fancy.
She's being a princess again.
She's being a princess. It was derogatory.
Yep.
It was there to degrade her.
Yeah.
And so she's just letting go of so many things. Her growth is so good at the end of this book and seeing it all come to fruition. I have a question for you, Melody.
Okay.
Did you feel like we super duper hardcore scene jumped after she gets the letter going to his house? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was like, it felt like I was
We're not
missing
there yet, though.
2 or 3 chapters. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
Okay.
Because he like then works through this after reading her blog and he writes down like a more realistic, successful kind of trajectory for their relationship. And part of it includes like when she's 30, nobody's going to talk about the age difference. And people are going to be like, when are you going to get married? And he'll look at her and be like, what do you think, Kate? Like, do you want to be Mrs. Henderson? And he says, eventually she'll say yes. And like, it's a much more holistic and, I don't know, optimistic view of what their relationship could be. And so now that's what he's striving for. Meanwhile, he gets a call and he just answers it without looking at it. It is that ex. And that ex has gone banana town bonkers.
Listener, there's a whole subplot with her that we just haven't really
and I'm not going to get into it now, but what the important takeaway from that phone call is that it reaffirms and solidifies what he doesn't want. And he realizes that like he had a bunch of barriers up with Veronica because they had more of a surface level relationship. He realizes that with Kate, he's going to have to give his all to her, period, the end, because that's what she gives to her relationships. And he realizes that, like, even if he isn't going to talk about it with her before, like, trying to get back together, he realizes that, like, unfair as it might be, no, he wouldn't have a kid with Veronica. But if it was something that was, like, a deal breaker for Kate, he would have a fucking kid and, like, make the best of it. You know, like, Kate is the outlier. Kate is his special person. Kate is his one. And that's what he like gets from that conversation. And he also realizes that like he wasted so much time worrying about what other people would think about his preferences and kinks because he hid it for so long, or he got like as much as he possibly could from a vanilla relationship with his kinks and then like hid the rest of it. And the biggest reason is because he didn't want to be called like a sicko, perv, pedophile, whatever, you know? All of this is just thrown at him from this ex. And he's like, I don't give a shit. Like he's grown in that way. He's grown in confidence and I think through Kate and her understanding and her articulation of her kink, he's been able to like really reconcile that within himself. And he's just like, what I do with a consenting adult is nobody's fucking business, and you can get stuffed. And that's it, right? That's book closed on the X. And I loved this because then he like repaints the one nook in the house. Like he really reclaims his house.
There's this really poignant scene. It's late at night. He's leaving his house to finally get this stuff. And it's not that big of a deal. It's just repainting that one fucking alcove.
Yeah.
And like getting rid of some stuff. And as he's walking out to his car, his neighbor's like, oh, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm going to go get some stuff to repaint the house. And the neighbor goes, it's a little late,
isn't it?
Bit late to be doing that because it's late at night. And he's like, yeah, but it needs to be done.
He says better late than never because it's been 2 years since he broke up with Veronica. Yes. Eve Dangerfield, how the fuck dare you? Anyway, so then, yes, we do this hardcore just scene jump because Kate is back from Prague. She's been back for a minute. She's gotten a breakup haircut. She's living her life, and then she gets a letter from him.
This is not even the scene jump that I'm thinking of.
No, agreed.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So she gets a letter. It's in her mailbox, and it's from him, and it says, Middleton, I'm in love with you. I'm sorry for what you overheard at the Breton Club. I was an idiot and I didn't mean a fucking word. You were never my dirty secret. I was ashamed of what I felt. I couldn't believe a girl like you could ever really love me. I was wrong, and for that I'm sorry. If you can find it in your heart to forgive me, come over to my house this Saturday at 7 p.m. Wear a nice dress. Tie. And then we have the funniest thing ever because she doesn't curse. It is a thing throughout the whole book that she doesn't curse. And then she's looking at this and she says, oh my, by the way, Rapunzel moved in. Rapunzel is now a roommate. Yeah. Which made me so happy.
Because they're going to be BFFs for life.
And she says, oh my gosh, language. Rapunzel bellowed from the couch. Oh my God, Kate said obligingly. Fucking hell. Better,
Rapunzel says. Yeah, so now we're in a cab all of a sudden, and she's slapping herself in the face to, like, gear herself up for this get back together meeting with Ty.
Have they talked in this in-between time? So the way that they spoke, the way that things were written in this scene, I was like, I feel like things happened that I should have been there for in the like between then and now that were not there. It was very jarring. Did you have that?
It was jarring. Yeah, it was jarring. So the second read made it a little bit easier because I clocked some things that sort of went right off a duck's back in the first read. But basically, in the week before she goes to his house, the way that they've communicated is that he's been sending gifts. All these gifts and like all these makeup things. And finally, it gets to the point where Rapunzel finds him on Facebook to be like, stop it with the gifts. You're trying too hard. And like the delighted squealing is ruining my life. Like, you've got to stop this. And so he stopped sending gifts at that point.
I am so obsessed with that tall, hot lesbian.
Just Nordic lesbian. She's got a braid down to the bottom of her ass. It's thick. Oh, it's so good.
You want to be called Daddy Rapunzel? I'll call you Daddy Rapunzel.
Whatever you want.
What are you looking for, my love, my girl? Like, let's go.
I will reshape myself to fit you, Rapunzel.
So she gets there and they have dinner.
Basically, they get together at the end.
Yeah, they get together at the end and he's like, I'm all in. I'll meet your family. You meet my family. There was this really cute scene where he finally goes down on her.
My God.
She's like, no,
it's like the epilogue, yeah. Oh, no, it's not. You're right.
It doesn't matter. But she's like, oh, he was like, so? And she was like, well, it was amazing. Almost worth the wait. Almost. Yeah, I mean, it was good, but it's been months, man. You're so far behind on the oral sex ratio. It's not even funny. Yeah. Is that right? Ty dropped back onto his elbows between her legs. Guess I should get to work on that.
Yes.
And then she's like satiated, and then they go to snuggle, and she's like, wait, what about you? And he's like, no, this is about you. Like, tonight is all about you and, like, whatever. And then she's like, yeah,
but I want
but
sex.
I want sex. And he's like,
shouldn't you give it to me if it's what I want? And he's like, "Nah." But she launches herself at him and they have sex and it's wonderful. And now they're together forever, the end.
Mm-hmm. It was delightful.
That's all.
It was fun. It was a romp.
All right, Sabrina.
No, I don't know why I said this was the farthest thing from her. This was not a romp.
It was not a romp. No.
Very good, though.
All right, Sabrina, I'm going to start out with my lady love.
Wow.
Because
the one
yours is
fucking
much
time
more...
where I know my lady love, and usually you end up going first because you're like, hey, Sabrina, what's your lady love? And I'm like, a deer caught in the headlights, and then the one time. But actually, that's fine. Continue.
Yours is more poignant, so I'll get mine out of the way. Sabrina, okay? Jesus. She's got like
I'm a little spicy
on her today.
apparently.
Yeah.
It's been a week. Continue.
I hear you. So my lady love is Clack fans. Oh boy.
I love you.
Guess who is almost 39 and hitting peri-menopause, everyone? I am all of a sudden just so hot and sweaty sometimes, and I have not had any single clue what to do about it. And so recently I was just like, hold on. My Nana used to carry around the classiest bamboo fan, and like she lived in Hawaii, so it was consistently warmer, but like I wonder why that was. And I have a feeling it's because she might have been hit with some hot flashes in my childhood. So I went on the internet and I got myself 4 of these bad boys. One of them I keep in my purse. One of them I just like carry around the house with me. And the other 2, the kids immediately launch themselves upon. So they have the other 2 fans. They're theirs now. But it's been a goddamn game changer. I'll tell you that much. Just having like the ability to fan myself at any moment of any day when I need to. Shocking game changer. Plus, like, I feel a little bit dramatic, about it. And it's like real classy and sexy. And like, I can be really coquettish with it if I want to.
You're giving some serious, you can put your name down on my dance card for the supper waltz vibes right now.
Indeed. Yes. Yes, indeed. Yeah. Or I can be like real sassy, like you can do a lot with a fan, I've learned in the past week or so. Chief amongst them is, oh my God, I went to an outdoor birthday party. I was in a skirt and a tank top, I think. And everyone else, by the like middle of the day, the weather had turned. Okay. Everybody's like, oh my God, why didn't I bring a coat? Or like getting their puffer coats out and stuff. Meanwhile, I'm still over there with my fan.
Your fan?
And it was perfect, frankly. It was perfect. That's my lady love. Get yourself a Clack fan.
Okay, so I was gonna ask that. What is Clack fan? Does that mean like?
It's
is it
the noise.
Called a Clack fan?
It's one of the nicknames for a fan. That's like it's like one of the things that distinguishes it from like a motor fan. Because they have those too. They have like, the things you can hold up to your face, or there's one that you can like put around your neck that then like motors, air up to you. That's not my jam. I'm a Clack fan girl.
I don't know what it says about me that if you had said I got some fans off Amazon, I would immediately assume you meant those.
This is what I'm saying. But I realized when I was Googling for fans that other people have very different definitions of what fans
By the way,
are.
you would get along with a buddy's husband so well when he goes to festival and like miscellaneous festivals in Louisiana. It's a little hot here. It's a little sweaty here. He has a battery powered like Dyson fan.
Fuck yeah.
That he has like modified to be able to have on a strap, and it just like sits against him, and he is upgraded a little bit into like some that are like made for this kind of thing, but it is a full like it's like a shop fan.
That's
but
my dude.
Like battery powered.
He can come sit by me.
And it's like you start like you'll. It's so fucking. It's so funny.
It's wild.
I love it.
It's
so
wild
much.
over here right now.
Y'all would get along
Just any time of the
super
day,
well.
it can suddenly come upon me, and I don't understand. It could be perimenopause can last between 2 and 10 years before menopause starts. Isn't that bananas? The more and it's also obviously an incredibly understudied thing because it exclusively impacts women. And so, yeah, like I had a doctor look at me straight in my face and tell me I was too young. And I looked at him back and I said, I didn't say menopause. I said perimenopause. And then we had a bit of a stare off. And then, it was fine. Everything was fine. Anyway, Kate, what is your lady love, Sabrina? It's very important.
I honestly don't even know how to like boil this down into one. It was just an event. I can't boil it down into a you should do these things. Except I guess.
Can. Do you want me to do your lady love for you? Yeah.
Yeah, go for it. I'll explain. I'll give context after. What's your what's my lady love?
Sabrina's lady love is be spontaneous and seize the moment. Because we were on author hang. Oh, she's taking over now.
I'll explain.
Oh, I
just
see.
needed you.
I'm no longer needed.
So we were on an author hang with Alexandra Vasti last month. I don't know when this comes. It's a couple of weeks ago. And we were all chatting. And while we're all talking books, I was stalking her online, obviously. And it was like, blah, blah. Alexandra Vasti lives in Louisiana. Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no way. And I was like, hey, Alexandra, you live in Louisiana? And she's like, yeah, I'm in New Orleans. And then Melody, God bless you, because I was agog.
You're just going to leave it at that?
Yeah, I was like, interesting. I was trying to figure out the least creepy way to say, hey, I'm in driving distance.
Totally.
Do you want to be my friend? And Melody goes, oh my God, Sabrina just moved back to blah, 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 blah. And then the book launch for Ladies in Hating was the next
night.
day.
Yeah.
And she was like, do you want to come? Like,
come.
You should come to the book launch. And she was like, specifically, I'm getting dinner with some friends before.
We can have dinner before she invited Sabrina to
and I was
dinner.
Like, yes, please.
Yeah.
And so I bailed on family dinner, our inaugural family dinner. And I went to New Orleans
permission.
Instead.
You were very good about it. You're very demure and respectful about it. And that's all I'll say about that.
Yeah, I was very Clack fan about it.
Yep.
And I don't have to question whether or not I would have bailed regardless.
No.
Because
seize
I didn't
the day.
have to. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I went to New Orleans for the book launch. Yeah. What was my lady love again?
Be spontaneous and seize the moment.
Be spontaneous and seize the moment. Yeah, just do the thing.
Yeah.
Do the thing. It was wonderful. It was delightful. Also, further lady love. I'd never been to Gris in New Orleans before.
Ooh.
And it was fucking delicious. I got shrimp and grits and it was very tasty. And
yum.
God, I always forget how much I love a shrimp and grits until I have a shrimp and grits. Oh, and then I already know what HB Muddy's lady love is. This is when she finds out that I did in fact take a packet of the lube that she sent me and got it signed by
And Alexandra signed it.
Alexandra
your
signed an individual use pack of lube. So one day that will make it in the post to HB Muddy. You're welcome.
Incredible. Hey, Mary, don't expect it in the next decade. All right, keep being a badass and
keeping a badass and accept being brutally called out with grace.
That's right. You were so classy about it.
Oh wait, it's keeping a badass and love yourself. Keeping a badass and love yourself. I was trying to be so graceful that I forgot part of our catchphrase.
Yeah. Keeping a badass and love yourself as much as you love finally asserting yourself to your situationship. Yeah, and also Rapunzel. Okay, bye.
Yep. Bye.
Thank you for listening. Next week, we'll be back with a crossover episode with Becky from the Too Stupid to Live podcast. We'll be talking about a few of the novellas in the new Scared Sexy Halloween collection. I'll put the link in the show notes to make sure you get it. Heaving Bosoms is produced by us, Melody Carlisle and Sabrina Bradley. Editing is done by me, Melody Carlisle. Our theme music is by the incredible singer-songwriter Brittany Fonts, and our art is by the ultra-talented author Kate Pryor. If you like our show, remember to follow us on your favorite podcast app, rate us 5 stars, and leave a review. That one small action is a huge way to help the show. If you want to get in touch with us for advertising inquiries or anything else, you can email us at heavingbosomspodcast@gmail.com. If you want more of us, visit patreon.com/heavingbosomspodcast. You can also find us on Instagram at Heaving Bosoms, on TikTok at Heaving_Bosoms, and in our Facebook group, the Heaving Bosoms Geriatric Friendship Cult. See you next week.